Hi, my name is Marco. I've left my life behind to travel the world with my camera to document the most interesting stories I will meet along the path. My first trip will lead me from Peru all the way to Patagonia, across Bolivia, Argentina and Chile. The journey is awaiting. Will you follow me along the path? Before getting to the mountains, let's rewind the clock a few days before. Good morning from La Paz, the highest capital in the world. We are now in what's so called the witch market. Yes, you heard it correctly. The name is due to the presence of different shops selling you magical potions and also some kind of rituals to bring you good luck and other stuff. But it's very touristic because, of course, it's full of colors. Here it is an example of it. You can see he's selling you all kind of potions and all magical treatments to give you love, health, good luck. Wait a second, I don't know if you noticed them, but these are not puppets. They're called suyos and they're actual dried llama fetuses. They have been used for centuries as an offer to the Pachamama, the Mother Earth. On my Instagram and TikTok profiles, you'll find a dedicated reel about this topic. If you want to check it out, I'll leave you the link here below in the video description. And if you follow me on my Instagram and TikTok accounts, you won't miss other interesting reels that I won't post here on YouTube. I'll leave you the links to my profiles as well. We just walk in the street, you can see it's very, very touristy. So in Bolivia, you will see a ton of these not so original Patagonia jackets. Of course, the price is extremely cheap. The original are way more expensive, but I have to admit, they really do look like the original one. So we are now in the Plaza Mayor de San Francisco in La Paz. And yeah, to be honest, it doesn't look that good. There's, the only nice thing is the church behind me, and actually this plaza feels a little bit sketchy. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't feel so safe here. So we're just gonna move to the next spot. We reached La Paz main square in the historical center, the Plaza Murillo. I have only one question for the, people of La Paz. What the fuck is that? That giant black thing. So I guess here the main attractions are pigeons. If you're not a pigeon fan, you would not like it that much. It seems there are people actually selling food for pigeons, and there are people, letting the pigeons climb on them. I'm not gonna do that for sure. The probability to get shit on by the birds, it's kinda high. You just have to take care. So we finally made it to the Kili Kili Mirador, the viewpoint. So this panorama. Today, I'm on a very special place, guys. As you can see, I'm not outside, but I'm inside what you can call it, an arena. And behind me, you can see an actual ring. What's weird about it? Are you going to watch a boxing match? Well, kind of. I'm about to watch what is called Las Cholitas wrestling. So it's wrestling between women in traditional clothes. It's kind of weird to imagine Quechua and Aymara women fighting with these, colorful and very typical clothes. But the funny thing is that it didn't born like for tourists. Now, of course, it became very touristic and they're full of gringos like me. It was a way for women to declare their independence, to say we can do whatever we want Of course, they built a whole marketing, system around these matches. They even have the luchadores mask. No way. There's already plenty of people behind me. Time passing and there are no seats available, so the atmosphere is there. I hope also the show will be at the same level. And after a little show, the match can finally begin. As you can see, the fight is obviously fake. It's a parody of the Mexican wrestling, showing how scripted and fixed the traditional matches are. Also, the referee is part of the parody. Things start getting out of control. And I think we have a winner. The second fight starts in an unusual way. Finally, the event comes to an end and turns into a party. Good morning, guys. Today is a very special day because we're gonna start the hike to the Huayna POTOSÍ. It's a mountain whose summit is about 6,080 meters, something like that. So it's kind of extreme. It's my first time hiking such a high mountain. The maximum that I hiked was like Pale Punchu in Peru. It was like not even 5,000 meters. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for sure. And my tour is gonna be of 3 days and 2 nights. So it's the not the extreme version of it, because there's also a version of 2 days and 1 night. So it should be like easier. It may be a little bit tough for me to record a lot of videos up there because, of course, due to the cold, you can imagine how tough it can be to use your hands. So you have this thick gloves. So wish me luck, and I hope to survive and come back to do other vlogs. So guys, we just reached the base camp. It's not that cold. We are like almost 5,000 meters above sea level, but that's how the base camp looks like. Now it's time to have a lunch, and then we will gonna start. The first day is practicing with axes and crampons, and the actual hike will start tomorrow. I prefer to do this way so I can get used to the altitude and also to practice with crampons, because to be honest, I've never put a crampon in my entire life. So yeah, I will test it in Huayna POTOSÍ and see if I can survive. That's how the base camp looks like from outside. Even though we are at 4,800 meters, the camp, I'm not gonna lie, struck me positively. I mean, it's quite well organized. There is, of course, electricity. They have like a nice kitchen. And there's our beautiful luxury bathroom. I mean, it's not that bad. As you can see, there's no toilet paper, and the only way to flush it is to, the traditional way. You take this empty, you fill it with water, outside and you flush it. And now I'm gonna show you a little bit of the inside. The Refugio Casablanca. So, coming from outside, this is the first room where, well, you actually have all the technical gear. You can find helmets, you can find snow boots, you can find crampons, and all the other. There's even an axe. Oh, yeah, maybe you can see it from here. There's an axe, and it of course serves a thermal purpose. And here we go upstairs to our extra luxury dormitory. As you can see, this has nothing to envy to Dubai lifestyle. This is gonna be my luxury bed. I even have Santa protecting me. So these are my compañeros. If I die, they will take my body to La Paz. So we try to learn how to walk on ramparts. I'm still very bad at it, but little by little we're gonna manage to do it. It started getting a little bit of headache for the altitude, but still manageable. Here you can see I'm all equipped. It's important to have gloves, not that much for the cold, but because here what I'm walking on, there's plenty of ice, and if you fall, you're gonna open yourself and have blood, so it's very dangerous. So, the first day has come to an end. It is meant to just get acclimatized and be prepared for the next day, which is tomorrow. That's the actual first day of the hike. We're gonna reach from base camp the high camp, and from there you're gonna reach the summit. Good morning, guys. Today is the day 2 of my hike to the summit of the Huayna POTOSÍ. Today the plan is to reach the high camp. We're gonna reach 5,400 meters. Hope, I can vlog even a third day. Today a guy came back actually from the group. He was meant to reach the summit, but he couldn't because of the altitude. He got altitude sickness, so he had to went back. The same happened to another guy, an Italian guy that struggled even here at the base camp. Luckily, I'm feeling well. This night I just had a little bit of problems getting asleep, but I finally managed to, and now I'm feeling fine. There are a lot of people that can't actually make it to the top, so young people like me, so I'm not experienced at all, so I can be one of the guys. Even though it's one of the easiest, let's call like this, 6,000 in the world, it's still a 6,000. But I'm positive, I'm confident. Let's see how things goes. After around 2 hours of hiking, I started feeling fatigued, and headache and nausea started kicking in. As we went up in altitude, my symptoms keep getting worse and worse. As we were hiking up, the weather didn't help. The visibility was sensibly reduced due to fog and snow. By the time I get closer to high camp, I started feeling horrible. Basically, I became so slow that I got detached from the group, and one of the guys had to follow me to make sure I was safe. Also, breathing became more and more difficult. I sat on a chair in the dining room, incapable of uttering even one word, trying only to focus to catch some breath and, survive. That's why I didn't record almost anything of the high camp, because as said, I was feeling terrible, and I'm not over-exaggerating for YouTube. I mean, for real. Luckily, I had some amazing companions that helped me with countless
coca teas. I don't remember how many I took. And by the way, if you already don't know it, yes, the coca leaves are the same from which the famous drugs is produced, but in this case are completely legal because you would need an enormous quantity to have any slight narcotic effect. The leaves work as an energizing, and they're used in countries such as Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador, either in infusion in hot water or directly chewing them, because chewing leaves usually gave faster and stronger effects. They're used traditionally from centuries from local farmers to keep energies high all day, and they are especially effective against altitude symptoms. And that's why, for us gringos, they're fundamental to survive the altitude. After feeling like shit for the first hour, I slowly regained some energies, and after 3 hours, we can say that I came back to a normal state.
We reached the camp. It was so tough. I didn't vlog almost anything because I struggle even to basic breathing, and I arrived here at 1 p.m. and I just felt like shit. I was even able to speak, like struggling a lot, even the breath, and I was in a very bad state, so I couldn't, vlog anything. Now it's 6 p.m. We're gonna go sleep because tomorrow, actually at midnight, we have to wake up to start the hike at 1 a.m. to be at the summit at 5:30 a.m. or 6, depending on our rhythm. Now I'm better, definitely better, but let's hope that tomorrow I will be able to reach the summit. And yeah, I need a little bit of confidence, but if everything goes well, I can manage to do it. But let's see how things goes. Now it's time to go back, so good night.
So we went sleeping at around 5:30, 6 p.m. and we set the alarm for 11:30 p.m. Not a.m., it was 11:30 p.m. And I know it feels like a super weird hour to wake up, but that's what is needed in order to make it to the top for the sunrise of the next day, which is about 6:30 in the morning. Unluckily, due to the altitude, I couldn't sleep one single minute the whole night. And also, I had to wake up multiple times because one of the side effects of the altitude is stomachache. So without entering in details, I had to go to the bathroom many times during the night. As you can imagine, waking up with no sleep at all, with the altitude symptoms, I was feeling literally trash when waking up. I had no energies, I had a huge headache, with nausea as well, and I was feeling terribly. As soon as I got up, we started having breakfast, and I can assure you that you don't want to eat a lot when you have nausea because you feel like everything is gonna enter your mouth, is gonna come out, and you will throw up. But I forced myself to eat as many biscuits as possible, just sugary things in general, and also countless coca teas, as you can imagine. By the time we were getting prepared, I started feeling better, and almost miraculously, I regained some of the energy that I didn't know I still had. To be honest, when waking up, I said to myself, okay, I'm not gonna even try it. I mean, it's meaningless. I couldn't even make a step. But after breakfast and after starting feeling better, I said to myself, okay, I'll give it a try. So at around midnight 30, we got out of the refuge and we started the hike. So I don't know what really happened, but what seemed to be a desperate attempt actually became a real hope, because as the hike went on, I started feeling better and also my confidence started increasing, and I really thought I could have made it.
Llegarás, llegarás. Mira, por cómo estaba yo esta mañana, si voy a llegar yo, tienes que llegar tú también.
But unluckily, after 4 hours of hiking at around 5,800 meters, I started feeling bad again. This time it wasn't really about headache or nausea, I was just running out of energies. I pushed my limits, tried to give everything, and I got up to 5,900 meters. And also I was slowing down the entire group, because as many other mountains, there is a time limit you can reach the top. And it's usually at 6:30, so a little bit after the sunrise, because if the sun started getting high in the sky, it could melt the snow, and of course the risk of avalanches increases. The problem is that at this speed we wouldn't have made it, and I had no energies left. So with a feeling of deep pain, I had to make the toughest choice. At 5,900 meters, only 200 meters in altitude from the top, I gave up.
So I wasn't able to reach the summit, but who cares? Look at the panoramas. I feel very sick. I reached 5,900 meters, then I was really, like, my energy was, I was very exhausted. I am also now, but I had time to rest a little bit, and to be honest, I feel sick. I have nausea, but yeah, in just a moment to appreciate all of that. Right behind these mountains, you can see these, all these clouds. This is the Amazon.
So the video, it's about to come to an end and it's time to draw some conclusion. If you ask me, what you learn from this experience is, of course, to come to the expedition more prepared. If there are some experienced hikers watching these videos, they already probably realized that they came to do this hike completely unprepared. I came traveling for over a month at least above 3,000 meters, because from Cusco in Peru, which is slightly above 3,000 meters, I never went below that altitude. I went to the Sacred Valley, I went to the Titicaca Lake, which is at about 4,000 meters. 2 weeks before the actual Huayna POTOSÍ hike, I did the Punchu hike. Punchu is about 4,800 meters. So in my head, I thought I was properly acclimatized to do a 6,000 meters peak. But turns out that it's not the case. So on internet, seems like that spending 5 days in La Paz is enough to get acclimatized, but it's not true at all. It's also sometimes very random and depending on the person and its genetics. There are people that suffer the altitudes and other people that even with not a great preparation manage to do somehow high peaks. But it's important to not overestimate yourself like I did in my case and be humble. If there's one thing that the mountain teach you is to stay humble. And if you ask me, what would you do if you did it again? I'd probably do 2 things. First of all, not just scroll random information on internet, but I would ask people with experience in hiking, which is not my case, about advices. And second of all, I would do at least 1 preparation peak before the proper hike. When I talk about preparation peak, it should be at least, in my case, since the Huayna POTOSÍ is 6,100 meters more or less, it should be something like 5,400 meters. And you should do this ideally 5 days before the actual hike. There are some people that advise to do it 3 days before. In my case, I think that you maybe not have enough time to recover from the muscular aspect. Not 2 weeks before like I did with Punchu, thinking that it was enough. I think the mountain decided that it was not my time. But I accept it with philosophy, and it just gave me more desire to go outside, explore the world and try to hike other beautiful mountains. And who knows, in the future I'll maybe have the chance to face the Huayna POTOSÍ again.